how is it going? I was just having a chat with a friend of mine and we were just talking about what it was like when we were pregnant, and I realized that her pregnancy was a little bit different than mine. And it's no secret that I am a plus size gal and that I am a bit curvy. I don't hide that. I actually talk about it quite frequently. I wanted to talk to you about 4 things that you might not expect if you are plus size and pregnant. I feel like a lot of people think that because you're plus size, you're automatically going to have complications in your pregnancy. And while being plus size can put you at increased risk for some things, there are plenty of women at all different and varying sizes who go on to have really healthy pregnancies and who just do a great job at being pregnant. So here are a couple of things that are going to be different though if you are plus size and pregnant. And I'm not going to define what plus size means here. I definitely have an idea of what it means to me, but being plus size can mean all varying different things to people. So I'll let you go ahead and make your own definition for what plus size means. So as I mentioned before, being plus size or having a BMI of 30 or over, it can put you at risk for some things. So if you're planning to have a hospital birth, there is a good chance that you could be tested for gestational diabetes twice. And if you are newly pregnant or if you've never had the gestational diabetes test, let me just tell you, it's a nightmare. Some people have an easier time with it than others. However, I'm not one of them. The drink that they give you is like straight sugar. It's like soda that's been concentrated without the carbonation. It's not good. And they have you fast also so they can really see where your blood sugar is at. You have nothing in your stomach and then you're drinking this disgusting like sugary drink. Sometimes the docs will want to test you in very early pregnancy, like when you go in for intake, because they want to see if you are pre-diabetic right now or if you are already diabetic going into pregnancy. And then you might be thinking in your head, yay, I already passed my glucose test, but wait, just like in a pregnancy of a person who is not plus size, they will probably test you again at 24 to 28 weeks. There are options that are not always offered for the glucose screening. There are different ways to take that test. So if you guys are interested in knowing a few different options of what you can take for your glucose test, number 1, ask your doctor. But if you're interested, I can give you like what I researched when I was pregnant. I can tell you the options that I learned about. I'm not a medical provider, so none of this is medical advice. This is just what I talked about with my midwife and information that I'm passing on to you. But always make sure that you double check it with your primary care person, your OB, your midwife, whoever you're seeing for your pregnancy care. But just know also that you potentially could be tested for gestational diabetes twice. I've heard that it is extremely common to be tested for this twice, but it is a red flag if your care provider says that you will develop gestational diabetes because of your size. So make sure that you have a care team who really supports you, who understands the actual like physiological workings of your body and your actual health, rather than just judging you based on what the clothing size tag says on your back. If something like this happens to you as well, make sure that you advocate for yourself. Make sure that you stand up for yourself and ask questions, and maybe even hire a doula who can ask those questions for you. And if your care provider still is just not seeming like they are a very good advocate for you, I would definitely consider switching to a more like size friendly care provider, or just a care provider that's willing to give you all of the facts as they are and not just judge you again based on what size clothing that you wear. The second thing that you might find different in a plus size pregnancy is that weight loss is not uncommon. I gained quite a bit of weight with Harrison, but I know plenty of plus size women who haven't gained any weight during their pregnancy, and I know that weight loss and weight gain can be kind of triggering topics. Apologies for that in advance. It can happen, and it doesn't mean that your pregnancy is not healthy. It means that your body is doing what it needs to do to nourish yourself, and it's giving your baby nutrients that it needs, and it's getting itself into the best possible shape that it can for labor. So many times care providers will limit plus size gals to not gain any more than 11 to 15 pounds. I think my care provider said that I should gain like 20 to 25 just based on where I was pre-pregnancy weight wise. I ended up gaining like 30 or 40, and now we know that limiting weight gain during pregnancy pregnancy can lead to a better outcome as far as birth goes. But I also want to emphasize here that you shouldn't be restricting yourself. You can try making different food choices if that is something that you're comfortable with or able to. I know also how bad nausea can be in pregnancy. That can also be a contributing factor to weight loss in pregnancy, depending on how bad your nausea gets. So just know that you shouldn't be restricting yourself or like dieting or anything like that during pregnancy, but that your body will naturally lose weight, whether it's through morning sickness or whether it's just by your baby taking the nutrients that it needs. As long as you are giving your body what it needs, it will gain or lose whatever it needs to grow your baby in the best way that it knows how. The third thing that I didn't know about being plus size and pregnant is that you can measure ahead, and you might measure ahead. As your pregnancy progresses, your care provider will start measuring your belly. They call this measuring your fundal height. The fundal height measurements should match the amount of weeks that you are. So for example, if you are 20 weeks, your fundal height should be measuring at 20 centimeters. And they measure it from your pubic bone to the top of your uterus. And so real talk for a minute, we plus size women already come into pregnancy with a belly. And because of this, you should have a new normal baseline measurement. Maybe this is a good time to ask your care provider if they can measure your belly earlier in pregnancy. I know that they don't usually start measuring until, I want to say, second trimester. It might be later than that even, but if they measure you early and get a baseline for what your measurement currently is, so then you won't actually be measuring ahead, you'll be measuring right on track. And so this doesn't necessarily mean that you are doing anything abnormal or that your measurements are incorrect. It just means that you came into your pregnancy with different measurements than other women did. And the fourth thing that I didn't know about being plus size and pregnant is that pregnancy can change the way that you see your body. And I have always been someone who has been critical of my body, and that comes and goes depending on, you know, where I'm at in my health journey, where I'm at as far as my confidence goes, that kind of thing. So I took my pregnancy as an opportunity to really connect with my belly rather than trying to hide it. I feel like for so many years I was trying to cover up my belly and hide it in big baggy clothing or clothing that, you know, was looser or whatever. But I really took a lot of time and care during my pregnancy to buy cute maternity things and things that really made my body feel really special. So use pregnancy as a time to connect with your body rather than continuing to be harsh on yourself. So those are the 4 things that I didn't know when I was plus size and pregnant, and I hope that they are helpful to you as well. If you are someone who is plus size and pregnant, or if you have been plus size and pregnant before and you have things that you learned during your pregnancy that might be helpful to other women, feel free to leave those down in the comments below. I know that lots of people will come here and enjoy this video, so I hope that this video has been really helpful to you. If you did like it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up for me. If you want more content like this, again, make sure to leave that down in the comments below. If you have any pregnancy questions, plus size or not, I'm happy to answer them in another video. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Caitlin and this is Beans and Monkeys, and I talk about all different kinds of things. So if that is your jam, feel free to hit that red subscribe button down below. We would love to have you with us. If you are one of my current subscribers, thanks so much for all of your love and support. It means the absolute world to me. But do make sure that you have your bell notifications turned on. Next to the subscription button is a little bell, so hit that bell and then you'll get notified every single time I post a video. I heard that there are some subscription box issues, so videos are not showing up if you go to your subscription section on your YouTube page. So make sure that you have your notifications turned on, and then you'll know every single time I post a video. If you want to find me over on other social sites, you can find me over on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And by the way, you guys, have fun today.